Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on the final episode for the truck series before we make the leap into full-time Xfinity Series racing, where I am happy to confirm we have signed a full-time deal with Sam Hunt Racing to race the number 55 SHR Toyota Supra next season. Very excited for that opportunity. Of course, it's a midfield team that I'm hopeful that we can, with our talent alone, outperform the equipment that we're in and also help better that team by the end of the season and prove that we continue to move up or deserve to move up the NASCAR ladder. We're coming into this final episode of Trucks with 3 wins on the season currently, one on an oval finally in the last episode at New Hampshire. And as we come into Talladega, this is the middle race of the round of 8, where it's pretty clear what we need to do here today. We just need to have a decent race, and when I say that, I mean we just need to run basically top 10 will be okay. As we come through in qualifying to put this truck in P19 for the Aaron's number 10 top tier racing Toyota Tundra, as we'll see Kyle Busch on pole position as we set ourselves up for the race in Super Speedway. I mean, of course, we've only raced on one Super Speedway so far this season. That was a season opener at Daytona. That race was really calm, actually, although we did get ourselves involved in a bit of an incident where we took out Andres Perez and, kind of kicked off the beginning of the rivalry with Matt Crafton. But here we are coming into 21 laps of Talladega, and it's going to be an interesting one to see how this all plays out. Nonetheless, it's going to be crucial to get a very strong finishing position to continue to better our chances to make the Final Four as we are racing from Talladega Super Speedway from the 19th position. As very excited for this one. I really wish we could have won last episode at Charlotte Roval in the first race of the round of 8. That would have put us through into, unfortunately, the Final Four, but obviously didn't quite work out. You notice there in the top left, it says Stage 2. It's not Stage 2, I can confirm. It is Stage 1. This is a bug I've noticed, so I actually restarted the race at some point in Stage 2 because I had a weirdly timed caution in Stage 1, and then it completely screwed up the fuel strategy and basically ruined the race, so I went and restarted it to run it back so it wasn't stupid. And as we come through Turn 3, right up to the back of the 18 of Tyler Ankrum. There you got Caden Honeycutt moving forward there in that middle lane. You're going to see 3 lanes start to work around here pretty quickly, so it's going to get 3 by 3 by 3. We're probably going to see some 4 wide. Of course, Talladega, much wider than a Daytona, so there's a lot of opportunity to get pretty spicy, you could say, here at the Super Speedway. This is a track that can bring a lot of chaos, to say the bare minimum, as we head off into Turn 1 following Tyler Ankrum in that number 18. And right now, the inside lane is really the most organized, but things would quickly shake up here. As you can see, some 4 wide racing in front of us, a couple rows of it now. Corey Heim, the only playoff driver that's safe right now. He's already picked up a win. He's locked into the Final Four and has a chance to fight for a championship come Phoenix. But of course, as you guys know, you can win 20 races in the Truck Series, but you're going into the Final Four with no more advantage than anybody else, and if we make the Final Four, we have just as equal of an opportunity to win the championship that Corey Heim has now. But of course, we got to get to that Final Four first, and that requires a good run here in Talladega and a good run in Martinsville. I think we can win Martinsville. I think that's the race I have circled as a potential candidate for us to pick up a victory, as we have now moved up to the outside here. Lane number 3 as we come to the final lap here of stage number 1 down into Turn 1. Some playoff drivers of Heim and Kyle Busch around us now, and now we are going to get a little bit aggressive. Jake Garcia coming behind to give us a shove through the middle of 1 and 2. We're 4 wide in the middle down the back straightaway. Matt Crafton to my outside. He's trying to link up with Frankie Muniz now as we go down this back straightaway. There's Heim again. Hemrick in front as well. He tries to come him up there, and I say no sir, as we barely got to his own side now as we head off into turn number 3 for the final time in stage number 1. 3 by 3 by 3, a little bit of 4 wide mixed in as well as we head down this front straightaway for the final time. Another push from Garcia. Can we get stage points coming to the tri-oval? It's going to be a drag race now, trying to get the draft from Matt Mills in the 42 Silverado to the checkered, and it's going to be P13 in stage number 1. Ty Majeski, playoff driver, wins the stage. Kyle Larson was up there in the conversation as well. Busch, Riggs, Rhodes. So, I mean, unfortunately, we have, like 4 or 5 playoff drivers that outpointed us right there. So everybody pits for tires and fuel, and we'll get ready to go green for the second stage here from this Talladega Super Speedway. Now from the 13th position, and we can make it to the end here of stage 2. Of course, it's only 5 laps. Stage 3 will require a pit stop at some point, be that under caution or under green flag conditions, as we're going to line up behind that gain bridge number 7 of Kyle Busch now, as he continues to try and, keep his playoff chances hopeful down towards the end of this season as we continue down this back straightaway now. And overall, I mean, the racing was quite intense right there. Felt a lot more confident in my car, or in my truck, compared to like when we were first super speedway racing earlier this season at Talladega. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see if we can maybe get ourselves up front, because I mean, you can kind of go all over the place here to work your way forward, but of course it's very easy to also choose the wrong lane to go in, and that's kind of one of my concerns right now, as we've lined up behind the 98 of Ben Rhodes now. And are we dare going to go 4 wide? He wants to go up to the wall. I'm going to stick with fellow Canadian here of Stuart Friesen, as we are 4 wide in the middle again. Friesen's jumped up to the outside, and I am not interested in running right up on the wall right now, so we're going to continue 4 wide through the middle, and it works to perfection. We're into the top 10 to the back of the 34 of Lane Riggs now, and we would stick to the back bumper of him and push him to the front of the pack, coming to 3 laps to go. And stage number 2, Lane Riggs out in front. We're going to stay up here now, and then we're going to jump down behind the Front Row Motorsports Ford F-150. Cross him over. He didn't cover the bottom. I'll take the inside. Thank you very much. As we get a bump from behind, we save it. Thank goodness. Matt Mills got a little aggressive on the bumping, but now we take the lead here from Talladega. Here comes Ty Majeski in my rear view mirror to hopefully help us out now, as Riggs is looking for some help as well. They're 4 wide behind us as well, as we head off into turn number 3, approaching 2 laps to go on the stage. Riggs with help now is going to get himself back nearly clear, but I got a shove from Majeski, but now Riggs does officially clear us. With 2 to go, he's going to jump down in front of us now. He kind of leaves a bit of a hole here as we roll through 1 and 2, but not enough of a gap there between him and the yellow line to actually make a move. So I would stay planted in behind him and wait for the right opportunity now, which could be right here down the back straightaway in towards turn 3. Riggs leaves the door open. I'm going to get aggressive. We're going to dive up the inside here and once again retake the lead in these closing laps in stage number 2. Look at this. They're almost going 4 wide as we were coming to the green-white checkered in the second stage, covering the lanes. We're going to win stage number 2 here from Talladega. A really good start to this race now. A great first half, and now we just have to get ready for this third and final stage and hope that we can continue on with this performance. Now, it's nice to actually win a stage on a super speedway, because super speedways haven't really treated me that well so far here in the career mode, and we do maintain the lead here from stage number 2 in the pit cycle. So we've got ourselves in great shape going into this final stage, where the green flag now drops here, and we continue on. And stage 3 going to be 11 laps, or sorry, not lap. We are at no, it is 11 laps. It is 11 laps of racing. So we are on lap 11, and we have 11 laps to go now, as we'll focus in on really just trying to stay in front and control the pace here from Talladega. Now, of course, if you lose the lead, it's just going to make things more difficult. So we just want to kind of stay up here. Of course, we are going to burn through a bit more fuel trying to maintain the lead, but I'd rather burn more fuel and know that I am able to stay up front. So that's kind of the idea here. Do not give up the lead now, as we've got Chandler Smith just behind. Kyle Busch to my right side. Corey Heim, he's up here as well in the conversation. A lot of drivers all around here that have an opportunity to dethrone our lead position now, as we continue to just kind of run our pace now. And I'm going to really just stick to this bottom lane. I feel like the bottom lane is going to really be where I want to be if I want to maintain leading this race and try to take the checkered flag coming down to the end here now, as Kyle Busch continues to my outside now, as we continue to basically drag race to the line each time now. And we're actually going to see pit stops at the end of lap 14. Riggs comes in, and might have been Kligerman and somebody else coming in as well. So they're coming in a bit earlier than we need to, but this is going to open the pit cycle. Now, for reference, as we approach green flag pit stops, I have turned black flags off. Reason being, the AI have supersonic brakes going into the pit, so they can basically go into the pit lane at 100 miles per hour and then stomp on the brake pedal right at the end and get down to pit speed in a matter of 2 seconds. So I have to speed into the pit lane to have any chance to be equal with the AI. So that's what we're going to do right here. We're going to pit on the exit of turn 4 with the likes of Crafton as well as Heim and Garcia, and you can see how fast they can go down to the pits, and I have to just speed into it. So we're going to come in and we're going to take only a little splash of fuel now. So green flag pit stops well underway. Where are we going to cycle out? It's the real question. We're going to be in front of this little group right here, but hold on now. Here comes Matt Crafton on my inside, and I simply cannot get that kind of speed right there. I am not that fast, and Heim and Crafton just breeze right on by me. Here comes Riggs, and as well as Larson and Kligerman. They've already made their pit stops now, and as well, here comes these other groups of trucks that are going by that have already completed their pit stops. So not really what I wanted to see right there, because we're separated from that group of traffic. So we're going to need a little bit of help from behind, just getting a big push, hopefully, to get us up further to that pack of trucks. And now as we come to just 3 laps to go in this race, you can see the pit stop cycle pretty well completing, but Rajah Caruth is still on the racetrack, and he is actually now pitting. However, we've actually got the 04 of Corey Roper staying on the racetrack, and he is trying to stretch this thing out until the very end of this race, and he is rapidly, I think he's actually out of field. He is super slow down the back straightaway as we have run down the main pack coming to the final lap of this race, and we're all just dodging each other trying to get position as we head into turn number 3, and they all stack up. Crafton, we're gonna wreck him, and now the caution's gonna fly, and Roper is out of field on the bottom lane, and everyone was stacking up behind him. Caution is out. I don't know how in the world. We do not have damage, so we'll stay on the racetrack and get ready to go back racing. Some drivers in front of us pitting. Fuel situation is super close for everybody, and you see some drivers are electing to pit. I think we have just enough fuel to get to the end of this race, so we'll stay out and get ready to go back racing. You see the damage on our truck now, both ends, the front and the back now. I mean, we just destroyed the back of the 88, and we're back underway. Matt Crafton certainly not going to be thrilled with that one, of course, now, as we have had our back and forth this season, but we got 2 laps of racing to go here from Talladega now, and we have got ourselves an opportunity to get a potential win here if we can play our cards right. We're behind Kyle Busch, got Lane Riggs up here, you got Kyle Larson up here now, a lot of playoff presence up here that I don't want to see, of course, now as we head down this back straightaway now, and we've got Dalton Sutton behind us giving us a shove here. Now we're going to look to the inside of Kyle Busch. We'll make it 3, maybe even 4 wide into turn number 3. Sutton into the back of us, the 26 turns us around into the turn 3, and the caution's gonna fly again, and we've got damage, and there's a yellow, and I don't think we have enough fuel to make it from here. We have got right now an estimated 1 lap of fuel. It would be cutting it right to the line. We're down in 20th. I just said screw it, let's come in and get fuel and pit and see what happens. I mean, I think we're about to see some trucks run out of fuel, because we're the only one pretty well that ends up pitting outside of actually Lane Riggs would make a pit stop. So he would join me back here, Parker Kligerman as well. They were one of the earlier pitters, and all of a sudden our season is in jeopardy right here with 2 laps to go, as we cannot afford to finish down here in 36th position. So we are going to have to get aggressive, but I think we're about to see some drivers run out of fuel. I think this is going to be cutting it super close, and it's about to get spicy now with 28 laps of 29 complete. Now this was only supposed to be a 21 lap race. Come into the white flag there, you see some drivers pitting. 4 trucks, I believe. One of those was a playoff truck, potentially, of the 9 of Grant Enfinger, approaching the final lap now down this front straightaway, and we're back into the top 25, making this outside lane work. We're going to come up behind the 19 of Daniel Hemrick. Did not want to go to his outside there, and we'll get back down in line here into turn number 3. There's Rajah Caruth. We've got Tony Breidinger coming up behind us here on the exit of turn 2 down this back straightaway for the final time now, and here comes a big push now as we're 4 4 wide. Down the back straightaway briefly as we continue to gain track position, and most importantly points right at the end. Now we've got Kyle Larson. Larson's running out of fuel in turn 3, and everybody's stacked up. They were moving all over the place. The 07's out of gas now, trying to stretch it. It's not going to work. Who's going to win this race? Drivers coming into the pits in 99 of Rhodes, and others now can't make it to the end. The momentum stalling for us. Kyle Busch is leading through the tri-oval, and Kyle Busch wins in Talladega. Into the final 4 he goes to join Corey Heim, as we are going to have to go to Martinsville and have a strong effort there. Matt Crafton ends up in 2nd, Norm Benning in 3rd, and somehow, after all of that chaos, we're still one of the best finishing playoff drivers. What a race, what a finish. And now we come in to Martinsville, the cutoff race, with 3,098 points, giving us a 25-point advantage to Majeski, the first one out, 26 to Riggs. Rhodes and Enfinger, they have to win, and all we have to do is just finish solid here now as we continue to make some upgrades and as well fix up our truck. We're coming into Martinsville with a 3 parts on the trunk are level 6, 1 part being level 4. But we just have to run decent. We are looking at a 25-point advantage. All we need to do is just run top 10, and we're going to be okay. Talladega took a bit of a swing, and we got pretty lucky there, and it worked out, and we ended up in the top 15, and that was enough to keep us in a good points position. And Corey Heim's going to be on pole here from Martinsville. We know 2 drivers in the final 4, Corey Heim, Kyle Busch here. Now, as we get ready to determine the other 2, which I am pretty certain we're going to be one of them, and I still believe, even after qualifying 13th, we have got an opportunity to win this race. Nonetheless, let's go green. Green flag is out here from Martinsville. The paperclip now, a very slow start. I read a comment actually and I don't know if there's any truth to this. I am going to experiment with it. Someone said if you turn the rear view mirror off on the restarts, you don't actually slow down as much on the restarts. I don't know how accurate that is, but I am going to test that out just to see. But that would be one heck of a bug if that's true. But now here settling in stage number 1, we've got 12 laps of racing. Martinsville, 12 laps, not a lot of time here now, as we're just going to work on holding this inside lane and making moves up the inside of the 9 of Enfinger. He's got to win this race to move on, and I just don't see that happening. As we exit turn 4, we'll pass him. Then shortly thereafter, we'll pass the 52 of Stuart Friesen. Into the top 10 we go. Lane Riggs, who comes in 26 points below the cut line. He's not having a great race, and now I was passing him as well. We were making a lot of headway right off the bat here. Martinsville, a track I love dearly, so I had expectations quite high for myself in this race. We've won 2 road courses this season. We've won 1 oval, and I think this is our best opportunity to win another oval. Now, all of the 3 races we've won so far have come in this the final half of this season, which is exactly why I think we continue to prove that we belong in a potential Xfinity ride next season. So it's going to be exciting, and obviously we confirmed earlier in the episode we will be full-time in the Sam Hunt Racing number 55 Supra, racing against another potential superstar prospect, actually Connor Zilish, who will be going full-time with Junior Motorsports next season in the number 88. We raced against him at the Charlotte Roval in our debut there last episode, so that's going to be exciting, although I think Zilish is going to have the upper hand for the majority of the season until we can hopefully get our car upgraded now. So there you see, we end up stage 1 P6, and now we all stay out. Actually, we did not need a pit after stage 1, so we'll get ready to go green for the second stage here from the paperclip now, and the sun has set. The lights are on. We are racing under the lights in Martinsville now as Corey Heim leads the way out of turn number 2, heading down this back straightaway. We get a nice run on the outside of William Sawalich, another driver, of course, that we fought against many times in ARCA last season, and now we'll be fighting him next season in the Xfinity Series. So that's going to be something I certainly look forward to now, as we are actually able to make this outside lane work pretty well. And as it currently stands, with the way everybody's running, the final 4 we already know will consist of Corey Heim and Kyle Busch, but myself and Ty Majeski are doing everything we need to be doing to get ourselves in on points here now, and I think we can do even more. How about Caden Honeycutt up there in second position right now? He would eventually drop to third after Majeski would pass him, and then I would actually get aggressive and actually move up to the outside lane and start to try and make some headway here on the top lane just to get around this number 45, and it was working. I would continue to move my way forward now through 3 and off of turn 4 down this front straightaway. We'll pass Honeycutt in for P3, and then immediately I'm going to show the nose to the 98 of Ty Majeski, who covers me off pretty well right there, so it couldn't quite get the opportunity to pass him. But as we roll through 3 and 4, coming to 2 to go on the stage, we'll pass him. We have moved all the way up to P2, and as we came to the final moments of the second stage, we had run down the Safe Flight Toyota Tundra of Corey Heim for Tricon Garage, but I didn't quite have enough to quite pass him to win the second stage. So we would just kind of settle in here to P2 off of turn 4 down the front straightaway. Corey Heim takes stage 2, but obviously you can see it right there. We have got a truck very capable of winning this race, and I think we're going to have an opportunity to take the lead here going into stage 3 and drive away. No pit stops needed in stage 3. We will pit right here for tires and fuel. No adjustments because I was very content with the handling of this Toyota Tundra here for Top Tier Racing. So we'll get ready to go back green for the third and final stage. Corey Heim and myself, the front row, and we have done everything we've needed to do so far to get ourselves into the final 4 as we sail off into turn number 1. We're halfway through this race now, and as we exit turn 2, Ty Majeski back up my inside. Not a good restart from myself. Into turn number 3 we go, and Majeski just about clear now as we continue to watch him go through. There he goes, now clear on the exit of turn 4, but as we head down into turn 1, I know we've still got 25 laps to go, and we have got ourselves in a really good position to go into this final half of this race to really be a threat to win. And it wasn't long, lap 29, when we have an opportunity now to start beating on the back bumper of this 98 now through 3 and off of turn 4, trying to build up a run on the exit of the corner. But that was where the 98, it felt like it was a little bit better than me, was on the exit. He was able to get the power down a little bit further and drive away. So I feel like a move is not going to come off of a corner. I say that. We build up a run on the exit of turn 2, and there it is into turn 3. We dive up the inside with 20 laps to go, approaching 19, and we'll be side by side through 3 and 4, always just trying to wrap that curb on the inside of the corners now, of course, without hitting it, because if you hit that curb, it shoots you right up the track and completely kills your corner. So you got to be really, really patient and careful with that. But nonetheless, we would clear the 98 into turn 1 here on lap 33, and now we're free to run down Corey Heim. Lap traffic is something that's going to play a role in how this race shakes out. And now as we come to lap 38 to 50, you can see Heim and myself fully engulfed now in the lap traffic at this point. So it's all going to come down to traffic management. Heim running down Corey Roper, who completely changed the outcome of that Talladega race, and we had run right up to the back of the 11, who's engulfed in traffic. Hold on, maybe do we get aggressive? 3 wide here into turn number 1 up the inside. Now Heim on the outside, lap car in the middle. Bit of contact there with the 0-4 of Roper, getting physical, but we take the lead here from Martinsville in the paperclip. Win number 2 on an oval and win number 4 on the season is very much in the realm of possibility now. All we got to do is hang on for these final 10 laps of racing now as we'll look up the inside of Breidinger in the number 5. We'll pass her into turn number 1. 10 laps to go. Thank you very much. Now to lap 45, and we had opened up the gap to Heim. We had driven away now by almost a second. So at this point, it's just about hanging on. Actually, over a second now. 1.4 seconds. The gap to the number 11 Safe Flight Tundra, as we just got to hang on for a few more laps as we're now at the inside of the Rackley number 26 here of Dalton Sutton, the driver that actually turned us in Talladega towards the end there in overtime, and I mean completely put our race upside down. But to the final lap in Martinsville, and here we go into turn number 1. We are in position to do it now. We picked up our first oval win in New Hampshire. Our second oval win is going to come right here from the paperclip now. 4th win on the season, as long as we make it through 3 and off of turn 4. Yes, we do. And here we go into the final 4 with a win in Martinsville. We're fighting for a championship in Phoenix in the final 4. I did not do a burnout for this one because obviously you guys know how I do burnouts. It's in like the practice mode, and it would not have been at nighttime. It would have been at daytime, so it would have been a complete immersion killer. So no burnout. but we get to celebrate, and now we have an opportunity to go to Phoenix and win a championship as the Final Four. We're also the top 4 finishers here in Martinsville. Myself, Corey Heim, Ty Majeski, and Kyle Busch. Us 4 will go head-to-head for a championship right here as we're all back on a level playing field. The best finisher wins the championship. 10 wins for Corey Heim this season. He looks to make it 11. We've got now 4 wins. Busch has 2. Majeski has 1. We've got a fully upgraded level 6 truck coming into this season finale at Phoenix, and I would sell off all of the extra parts that we have on this truck because we simply don't need them anymore. We're going to be racing Xfinity next season, so we would make a bit of profit. We're going into Phoenix with just under $200,000 in our bank. Now we hit $200,000, so hopefully after this race we'll be maybe, I don't know, $230,000, $240,000, and that will set ourselves up pretty well going into Xfinity next season. Nonetheless, we're ready to go for our final qualifying effort here in the Truck Series now as we kick things off into turn number 1, and all about just focusing in on getting this thing hopefully in kind of the top 10. We've been kind of qualifying around like a 10th to 15th here. It feels like a lot recently, and wouldn't be surprised honestly if that's where we end up again here as we head off into turn number 3 and light it up on the exit of turn 4 coming to the start finish line. What's it going to be? Well, it's P12. That's exactly where I've been saying we have been, so that's not terrible. We qualified 13th at Martinsville and we won, so 4.5 tenths off of Heim. So Heim in first, 4th for Majeski, 5th for Kyle Busch, myself in P12 here as we are ready to go for the season finale and a chance to be a NASCAR Truck Series champion now. We came up short of an ARCA championship after winning a lot of races in the final half of that season, and we're in a very similar situation here now where we've won a lot of races in the final half, 4 races, and now we got a chance again to win a championship. The season finale, our Truck Series finale, is underway now. 1 more race in the Craftsman Truck Series before we move into Xfinity Series racing full time. Slow start into turn number 1 here. 11 laps in this first and opening stage, and Corey Heim is going to look to drive away immediately, still seeking that championship here in the Truck Series now as we're right to the back of the 17 of Gio Ruggiero. Now into turn number 3, you see everybody kind of fan out a little bit. We've got 4 different lanes even being used right now as we exit the corner and head down the front straightaway. Now through the tri-oval, we'll give a shot to the back of Jake Garcia now and towards turn number 1 and really just trying to be patient now. We got a lot of laps of racing and there's only one thing that we need to do, and that is quite simply make sure that we beat 3 competitors now. That's of course Corey Heim, Kyle Busch, and Ty Majeski. Right now they're all outrunning us, Majeski being the lowest of the 3 in front as we continue now to the inside. Lap 3 approaching lap 4, and one thing I wanted to adjust on immediately that I was finding here was the truck felt pretty tight. So I definitely have plans at the end of the stage to tighten this thing up, loosen this thing up a little bit now, as we would actually go around the outside of Caden Honeycutt, just like we did in Martinsville, to move ourselves now into the top 10. Kyle Larson there in front of us now as we try to run down that 07HendrickCars.com Silverado as Heim continues to kind of dominate here in the early laps of this race. Really no pressure right now to that number 11 Safe Light Tundra. He is driving away from the Front Row Motorsports duo of Chandler Smith as well as Lane Riggs. We continue to move forward, passing Daniel Hemrick, who's dropping down the order, so we take P9 away from him, and now we once again get closer to Kyle Larson now, and Kyle Busch is now the worst running of the 3 championship 4 competitors we have. As 2 to go on the stage, we have passed Kyle Larson. We have immediately gotten to the left side of Tyler Ankrum off into turn 1. Couldn't quite clear him, so final lap of the stage, I was back up his inside into turn 3. A bit of an awkward angle right there, and we're going to drag race off turn 4, and it's going to be P7 in stage 1. Corey Heim takes the opening stage over Lane Riggs now. Majeski in the top 5, Kyle Busch in the top 5. We are in P7 after qualifying in 12th. Corey Heim has a stranglehold on everybody already after one stage. We're going to pit for tires, and we're going to pit for fuel, and once again, The lights are on, the sun has set, and we're racing at night here in Phoenix to determine a NASCAR champion in the Truck Series. Stage 2 underway. Corey Heim looking to just continue to maintain control of this race. Again, 11 laps of racing in this second stage, and again, a poor start off into turn number 1. Larson's able to get clear very easily now, as right on Corey Heim's back bumper is Ty Majeski, so don't rule out Ty Majeski as we're 3 wide. On the exit of turn 2, you got Honeycutt in the middle, Hemrick on the outside now into the corner, and they're actually going to put up a heck of a fight here, as I have loosened up this truck, but it's still feeling a little bit tight, especially on the entrance of the corner. I felt like was kind of my weak spot here, so I was having to be really aware of the handling of this truck, especially on the entrance of the corner. But we continue to go trying our best to go forward here. At this point, however, it just didn't feel like I was making much progress at all. We're halfway through this second stage, and we eventually do get to the inside of Grant Enfinger now and try our best to gain a position there, and I really open up the wheel in 3 and 4. Turn 4 was definitely a strong point, but I didn't get away from Enfinger. I was stuck here in P7, and that's where I would end up in stage 2. So we're P7 in both stages. Corey Heim continues to dominate, and I just do not have what I need right now to win a championship. We're going to need to be more aggressive. We're going to need to figure something out. We need to find more speed, and I just don't know what to do at this point now. So actually, I did not loosen up the truck after stage 1. I did it now. So I went down to 49, and unfortunately, we lose a position here in the pit. So down to P8 as Corey Heim, Ty Majeski run 1-2 in the championship, 4 and 1-2 on the racetrack. We're back underway now, and it's 15 laps to go, just about 16 to be exact. 15 to go when we come back around now, as we have got to find a way here to make something happen and have a chance to become a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion. Now Enfinger shuts the door, and we were there. Major contact, we stay green. Somehow no damage there from that incident. He keeps it going in the right direction, but that isn't immediately going to be something that sets us a little bit further back now as we run in the 8th position. Quickly though, running down Tyler Ankerman, the truck had felt quite a bit better at this point, so there was a bit of hope, but you can see Heim is driving away from not only myself, not only from Majeski or Kyle Busch, he's driving away from everybody. So that's going to be a problem now, as I feel like even if we're going to have a chance at all to even contend for a win, we're going to need a caution. But we have clearly got more pace here after the adjustments to loosen up this car in stage number 3. Kyle Busch has now dropped down to P6. Majeski was back up to P2, and for the first time in this race, it took all the way till nearly halfway through stage 3 to actually get up the inside of one of our competitors and have an opportunity to pass them, and we're going to do exactly that here in turn 3. Really lean on that 7 of Kyle Busch. Now on the exit of turn 4, we'll pass him for the 6th position. We move into 3rd in the championship 4. Corey Heim's gone with 9 laps to go. No one's going to run him down without a caution at this point now, as we continue to try and get our way forward. Now we had moved up into P5 behind Lane Riggs at this point, and I started actually downshifting in turn 3 and immediately would find an improvement in pace. So downshifting would actually bring me within the same 10th of the leader's time, and sometimes I was even running faster than the leader. So in the last laps of this race, we have found a strategy that has made us the fastest truck on the racetrack. We cleared the 34, we ran a 28.8, the leader ran a 28.8, so he's still running just a tad bit quicker, but you can see as we continue to 3 laps to go, now to the inside of Chandler Smith for the 3rd position, and we have cut the gap to about 2.6, 2.7 seconds. We are getting just a little bit closer, but obviously it is far too late, and we're going to just have to settle for either 2nd or 3rd as we continue on in the closing moments of this race. Now off turn 4, 2 laps to go, 28.9 to the leader's 29 flat. We are the fastest truck on the track, but it's just not going to be enough. We figured that out a little bit too late, and we're going to suffer, and now we just try to run down Ty Majeski It's disappointing that our season's going to kind of end like this, where I finally found something right at the end, and look at the momentum we get off of turn 4 again. Heim runs the 29-1, rerun at 28-9. Man, what could have been? But it is what it is. We're going to take a lunge at the 98 into turn 1. He's going to be able to roll through on the exit right there, and I think he might be able to hold us off, but we're going to have one chance here in turn 3 and 4 to maybe get back in front of this 98. Back up the inside one final time, and it's not going to be enough. Corey Heim off turn 4 wins the race, his 11th win of the season, makes him a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion. And it was too little too late for the top tier racing number 10, and we have to settle for 3rd place in the race and 3rd place in the championship. Majeski will take 2nd, Kyle Busch will be last in the final 4, down in the 7th position, and Corey Heim is a NASCAR Truck Series champion here in this season now, and he will be once again, even after that, as his development program is sorted out with 2311, he will continue on in the Truck Series for at least one more season as we gain 15,000 rep from our result here with a season top 4, and we'll see. There we go. We have made overall a profit of $500,000 this season, and we have now unlocked the Xfinity Series. Going into the next season, we've got $247,000 to utilize here now. As you can see, we end the season with 4 wins, 10 top 5s, 17 top 10s. Yeah, nothing to hang our head low over, and we really lit things on fire in the last half of the season, which is how we ended up getting our ride there at Sam Hunt Racing. And that's it. Next season kicks off Daytona Xfinity Series. We'll be doing longer races, 2 races per episode in Xfinity, and I'll see you guys in the next episode where we kick off our Xfinity Series career. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.